All righty, there we go. I don't think that I got any messages of anybody that wasn't going to be here. So perhaps Stacy and Robert will be joining us yet, but they can jump in where they fit in. Welcome everybody to our Tuesday night professional networking group of Collaborating Connections. So nice to see all these faces. I just want to let you know Collaborating Connections is part of the TTR networking umbrella. That's to the rescue. And Collaborating Connections has been around for the past 4.5 years. Although TTR is actually over 10 years old with professional networking. We started this virtual Zoom meeting as of when COVID hit, and we were no longer meeting in person in central Indiana on the east side. But I absolutely love that because now we get to connect with people across the United States and around the world. So tonight we don't have any international guests. I do want to acknowledge that Paul Hibbitt is our newest collaborator. Welcome, Paul. We're excited to have you join us.
Thank you.
Yay.
And I want to recognize Mary Abella, who we had the opportunity to chat with yesterday on the quarterly networking, speed networking Zoom luncheon. And Mary is familiar to a couple of us. She was previously a TTR networking member in the Southside group, and we miss her and was just so excited to see her face and invite her to collaborate with us tonight. So welcome, Mary. I want to get started out this week and say, let's acknowledge any wins or positivity or good stuff that anybody wants to share, anything that has gone on in the past week or is coming up within the next week or so. Does anyone have anything that they would like to share?
Well, I sold my house last Friday.
All right. Congratulations, Paul. You mentioned that last week that you were in the process of selling your home. So, wow. That was
we closed on Friday, so it's a done deal.
Awesome. Super awesome.
Oh, Paul, I looked you up. I heard you were going to be joining the group, and I'm a homestager, so I was just curious about you. You live in my neighborhood. Did you sell the house in Greystone, or did you sell the house? Did you just move in, or what's the deal?
Greystone is 3 houses ago for me. I sold that house in 1999. Okay. I moved into that house when I was married, and I had young kids. And that was a very large. That house was in the Homeowners and all that. It was a very large house. When we got divorced, we sold it, and I moved into Sycamore Springs up on the north side.
Oh yeah,
I've been there the last 20 years.
Going downstairs.
So the house I just sold was in Devonshire, which is more northeast. Okay. That's where I've been the last 3 years.
Wow.
So
moving around.
So I've been moving around, but I am a South Sider from, I grew up in Greenwood. So that's how I ended up down there in Franklin Township at that time. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. But this one was my first sale as a realtor. It was my first professional sale here.
Oh, good.
With my own house. So, and I was there 3 years and I made over $120,000 in profit on it. So,
wow.
Wow.
It's the time to sell, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was a great, the timing was right. That's for sure. That helped tremendously.
So, but you have a place to live, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm doing an intermediary thing. I'm watching my sister's house while they're all on spring break here. So I'm in Greenwood as I speak here, watching their house. And they have 3 dogs. So it's easier for me to stay here and watch them than to take them. And, but I'm going to be living with a friend of mine for a couple months while I'm looking for my news. I'm looking for another house that I can remodel, update, and do again what I just did. So it'll take me a couple months. It's hard to find a house right now, but I'll find one.
Found a house to flip, my first one. And I found a ring. There's junk everywhere, but I found a ring in the yard, and I just took it to a jeweler, to a jewelry place. I got $160 for it.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, crazy.
That's found money's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I guess so. My goodness.
Very good. Any other wins? Any other positive information anyone would like to share?
Well, I'll just really quickly say we had a good luncheon yesterday. It was actually meant to be when people were eating if they wanted to, but it was basically, it was our quarterly speed networking and it went well. We had a mid-sized group and we had a handful of new people, so that was exciting. And I know they will be starting to visit some of the groups like Mary is doing, although Mary's not a new not a new connection. I'm not saying you're old, Mary. I said that earlier to somebody and I said, no, it just means you're like, you've already been a member before, but we're very happy to have reconnected with Mary and met some new people yesterday. So we do that quarterly and it's, there is a science. It's the third Monday of the third month, if that makes sense. When we were meeting in person, we didn't want to meet in January and February. So I looked at March and I said, okay, so we got to do it on a Monday because we've got meetings on every other day. So we did that, and Fridays don't work. So usually I think it kind of kicks everybody into kind of a good place, and we'll continue to do them online. We are probably going to have a local event in May. I shared it with Paul earlier, and I'm just sharing at the Movable Feast on 65th Street.
Okay, stop.
Oh, she's not talking to me. But I thought I was giving it to her too fast. But it's May the 12th as of right now. I'm getting confirmation, and that will be like our first, in-person event for quite a while, guys. We had one last year at the, I'm gonna say urban air, I think. But anyway, we are going to try to do something in May, and that will be just an opportunity for those that are local to get together. We do have a number of members that aren't, so kind of feel bad about that. So we'll keep things kind of, we'll have some stuff in person, but I'll let you know more about that. Hopefully the weather will be absolutely gorgeous. But going back to the luncheon, it was this month, and then it'll be June the 20th every 3 months. And then it's September the 19th, I believe. Oh, wait a minute, September. But they'll be on the calendar, September the 19th. So this is kind of a neat way to meet a few new people.
Wonderful.
To know people you already met better.
Okay. Yeah. I hope everybody's got their collaborating connections notebooks that they can record these dates in, take down some notes while we're here today. And I want to add on to what Jennifer was saying. It was a great speed networking Zoom luncheon yesterday. And unfortunately, because of the nature of going into the breakout rooms, it's not, Jennifer doesn't have the ability to record the whole session because of the breakout rooms. So it's one of those things that you really can't catch up on later in a recording. If you have the availability, I'd say please put it on your calendar, the June and September dates, and really try to make it. We had a great discussion and a great time. So thanks again, Jennifer, for getting those started back up. Much appreciated. Okay. Are there any other wins or positive things that we want to share? Okay.
I was going to share that my brother and his wife just had their baby boy,
Ooh.
Yay.
Oh.
Azariah McIntyre. So I know it's not business related, but I'm just so excited. I'm
No,
going to
no.
next Saturday and meet
Sharing
him,
your
so.
joy. Wonderful. Wonderful. Congratulations.
He's healthy.
Good, good. I will share. I know I had a chance to chat with Pauline last night after I had a text chat with Dion, and Dion's doing okay. Her mom's health is still failing, and she was making arrangements getting her into some long-term care. So I just wanted to reach out to her and let her know that she's in our prayers and our thoughts, even though she's taking a sabbatical from Collaborating Connections for a little bit. But we still stay connected. And if you have the opportunity, just reach out to her and share some prayers and positivity while she deals with that. Being an only child of an ailing parent has been a big challenge for her. So just wanted to share that as well. We will move on to the update.
Hold on.
Yes. Yes.
I just thought about something. I want to openly thank Nancy for helping me with my, hold on, I'm multitasking, sorry about that, for helping me get my grandmother health insurance. Nancy has been a big help, and I do appreciate all the time, all the text messages and going back and all the questions I had. I do appreciate you helping me out. Much appreciated.
Super awesome.
Thank you, Pauline.
See, that's what collaborating is all about right there. Working things out together and finding some solutions together. Unfortunately, we all can't be experts in all things. So it's wonderful to be connected to some reliable, knowledgeable professionals who can help us through our life's challenges. So awesome. Awesome. Anything else before we move on? Okay. Next, we usually cover any updates or events going on within TTR networking or any pieces of news to share. So I'm gonna ask Jennifer, what's going on with TTR?
Absolutely nothing. No, there's
When
a
does
lot
that
going.
happen?
Never, 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 ever. We do have a lot going on. And it's, we have tomorrow morning, I would just tell you, I know Nancy, I think we shared that with Nancy, that the Westfield group is having their visitor day. They do have insurance. They don't have health insurance. So, and they do have a mortgage person. They do have a realtor. I just put it out there. If you are, they meet at 8 a.m. And they're just, I'll tell it to them. I'll say it to their face if they ever, but when they were scheduling their meeting 5 years ago or whatever, I said, just don't do Wednesday mornings at 8 or whatever. They did Wednesday mornings at 8 o'clock. But anyway, so that's tomorrow, visitor day. And then a week from tomorrow, Larry Levine will be on our Zoom. And I would just tell you, I told Paul earlier, I really, truly, if you have an hour of time, it is well worth your time to catch what he just, I think we all have that. We feel like we're all aligned with the fact that we really are trying to sell from the heart. And when you really hear, not really hear, but when you hear the story of how Larry started this and all, it just makes you feel good about that there are good people out there, and he gives you a lot of insight. And we're talking about the whole subject of masterminding. So I've asked him to tie that in with his, because I'm in his insiders group, but it is definitely worth your while. And even if you can't join us next Wednesday, go and check out the podcast, or I mean, some of the biggest, they had, well, one of their biggest was Tom Hopkins not too long ago that was on one of their podcasts. But I mean, just, these are people that literally sell from the heart. So if that even, even strikes a little bit of a chord with you, it's worth it. And you can get on sellingfromtheheart.net. I told Paul earlier this as well, that you can order the book autographed and you only pay for the shipping, and it's worth your time. They've been doing the podcast for a few years, and I'll just tell you, when I first found them, now Larry works with another guy on the podcast, but Larry's the only one presenting. But I literally was like, oh my God, I'm sorry, but I literally, oh God, thank you. There are other people out there that think the way I do, and I'm not like a weirdo because I don't want to sell. Like, I mean, I wanted to sell as long as it worked for my client. But anyway, you'll just feel really good about human beings after being on that. I think, Dawn, you were on at least one or the other. Were you on both?
Yep.
Okay.
Great.
I think it
Great.
just makes you feel good, so, and gives you a lot of practical, things to think about.
Mhm.
And I think, yeah, so I thought you were, but anyway.
And he puts it in
that's-
such plain language that
Right.
connects with you. That's what I love about his presentations. And yeah, I certainly encourage anybody who has the opportunity to take advantage of and spend some time watching that presentation.
Yeah, thank you. I know one of the things he talks about on a regular basis is, when you're trying to find out what your clients need, why don't you ask them? Or why don't you ask them what they like about you? And it's like, oh my gosh, who's going to ask their client? I only think of the insurance world where I sold insurance, and I was afraid they were going to get mad at me because they had to pay their premiums. I wasn't even thinking about it like our Bryn does a couple of weeks ago, and she's talking about the life insurance guy that could, and she's trying everything to get to him, and he doesn't understand it. And I mean, that's the difference. Bryn is that kind of an insurance agent. I was just like, I'm selling a policy and then I'm hiding. I didn't mean to make it, but I was so afraid that I had done, I tried to do what was best for my client. But anyway, this is just some of the stuff, like you said, Dawn, he just puts it in really like human being terms. And you're like, yeah, why don't I ask my clients? Because most of us are, at least me at that age, I was, afraid of my clients. I didn't want to know what they thought about me. But if I were really trying to sell from the heart, I probably that would have been something I would have done. I should have done,
Mhm.
it only took me 25 years and selling whatever to get to that point and realize that there was so much more. Anyway, I just thought I'd plug that. I don't know. It's going to be a new month and we'll have all kinds of new stuff. I don't even know what's going on. We do have the race, which Dawn signed up for. Yay.
I did, but I'm just going to have to make it a donation because I'm going to be out of town for a family wedding, I found out.
Well, but you did use, and that is Indiana Parkinson Foundation. One of our leaders is a member, and we're very big on that. But they have the Choose to Move on April the 23rd.
Yes, Saturday, April 23rd. And
Yeah.
it usually starts around 9 or 10 in the morning. Or
Yes.
you can donate and walk on your own in your own neighborhood.
Yeah.
So you have that flexibility. But it's really good. My dad had Parkinson's before he passed, so I understand that struggle, and I'm happy to support an organization that is working towards a cure for that. And the camaraderie, the teams that you see out there are just really entertaining, full of gusto and spirit. And that's what I really liked about being there in person last year. So I certainly want to support it again, even though I can't be there physically. If you have the opportunity to sign up and get out in that fresh air and do either the 1 mile walk or the 5K, or, you know, you have that choice, make sure that you check that out on the TTR networking site as well, to go ahead and get signed up. You can either sign up to walk, or you can also sign up to volunteer to work any of the booths there that day. So there are plenty of options to participate.
Well,
Cool. I don't know, are there any TTR presents coming up in the month of April?
as of right now, no, but that doesn't mean that something won't pop up. I mean, Bryn or Robert could say something tonight that makes me think we got to have a, yeah, I've recruited them. I've recruited both Bryn and Robert a couple, well, we have, haven't we? We know when people do good presentations, but no, if somebody has a, has something that they would like to do, let us know, because basically we want, my goal, our goal is to feature TTR members doing something, you know, collaborating like Bryn and Robert did a couple weeks ago, or just sharing something. Dawn did one last year, and I don't even know if everybody, was it last year on genealogy, or was it the year
Yep.
before?
I think it was last year, last spring.
So if somebody's got an idea, that would be really, really good. I mean, we had one in January, was all about joining, and we featured the Southside Networking Group, all the members of the group. And they just talked about why you join a networking group, you know, and it was just really, so I'm just, you know, what are the kind of questions or the struggles or the pain points that some of our, you know, people might say, well, why would I join a networking group, or why would I, you know, whatever it is. And I did tell Paul earlier too, Paul, I'm recounting all of our conversation, but Bryn did a great one last year on your elevator pitch, kind of varying it up every week. And that's one thing I picked up from Bryn, like right away when she joined us, was she doesn't talk about the same things every week. We all know she sells insurance, but every week she educates us a little more on a particular kind, or I don't know, I'm always like, I didn't know that. And I sold insurance, Bryn. That's what's really funny. But I guess you already heard I wasn't the greatest insurance. So anyway, leaving it at that, but we don't have any, no, we will, I'm sure we will. But if you have any ideas, that's the kind of thing. The other thing I would say too, and Dawn, you did the TTR Cares last week, and it was very good, and it's out there. So I know we're going to do that quarterly, hopefully. So we'll let people know, but you know, lots of opportunities to get a lot of good information, I think.
Absolutely. If anybody is interested, the recording of the TTR Cares from last week that was titled "I Am My Brother's Keeper" has been saved to the Collaborating Connections Facebook page. So if you would like to review that and you weren't able to attend, please feel free to drop by and click on that, check it out. A lot of good information on how you can help contribute to the people around you, your time, talents, and treasures in various ways, just to help put the world in a better place. Let's see. Beyond that, I want to remind you, while we are recording our weekly meetings, and those are available on our TTR Networking Facebook page, as well as in Referral Runway. So if for whatever reason you're not able to attend on Tuesday night, our meetings, and participate in the conversation. You can still look at Referral Runway or look at the Collaborating Connections page and refresh yourself on the conversation so you don't feel left out or left behind. Stay caught up on all that's going on. And, that's a benefit to our membership, just making sure that you are connected. Okay, so we'll move on from here and start our roundtable introductions. And I want to invite Pauline Ray. Are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Yes, ma'am. Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Pauline Ray. I am the owner of PSR Designs of Indiana and Wedding Stationery by PSR Designs. As you can probably figure, both businesses involve stationery. One is for the greeting card side, and I don't just do greeting cards. I engrave custom items. You can stand in the aisle at Walmart, CVS, whatever store you're at, and look at a card. And the picture may say what you wanted to say, but the content may not. And with some cases, it's all about the content. So this is where you come to me. We collaborate. You give me the content, or we collaborate to get the content. We collaborate on the pictures, and the final product is yours, customized just for you and your recipient. On the wedding stationery side, I offer custom wedding stationery, which ranges from the save the dates through the invitation bundles, through your day of items, which would be your menu cards, your escort cards, your welcome signs, and everything stationery related to a wedding. My perfect or preferred client would be anyone that's getting married, whether it's a new bride, you're renewing your vows, a micro wedding. It doesn't matter the size. I do not have a size limit on what I provide to my clients. And for the greeting card side, it does not matter what, I don't have a minimum. I just like working with people. As a matter of fact, I love working with people and to provide them what they want and to put a smile on their face as well as their recipients. My name is Pauline Ray, and I'm the owner of PSR Designs of Indiana and Wedding Stationery by PSR Designs. Thanks.
Thank you, Pauline. Does anyone have any questions or comments for Pauline about PSR Designs?
I really like those Mother's Day things you have out there on Facebook. Those look really nice. It's like, oh,
thank you. And I just have, as Dawn called it, a medallion, was actually a keychain. I don't know if if you can see this, but I have 3 children by birth and 1 with marriage, through marriage. So these are my 4 adult children on the keychain. I engraved their names on there. And if you order the plaque that you saw on Facebook that I posted on the Collaborating Connections site, you get this as well. Now you can have it with or without your children's name. And it's not just your children, it could be your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews, because some people play a role of mom to other people. So, I mean, with Mother's Day coming up, if you're looking for something different, not just the keychain, but the plaque can be given to mom, grandma, aunt, sister, niece, whomever, best friend that functions as a mother figure to your children. And thank you, Nancy.
Awesome. I was talking to Pauline last night because I ordered a few for Mother's Day for my mom and my aunt. And I was like, I wanted to share her post. And then I was like, but I don't want my mom and aunt to see what they're getting. And then I thought, well, they don't know that I'm getting this for them. Oh yeah,
Exactly.
I'm gonna share her post and put it on my page because if I like it, other people probably like it too. So get ready for some orders there.
Hey,
Pauline, 'cause
bring it. Bring it.
we're
But
gonna
I
share
would
that
like to
stuff.
show one final thing, because you always have me doing show and tell.
Yep.
Okay, this is something, and I don't know how this can, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm showing you the back of it.
Okay.
Here, let me turn it this way.
Oh,
It's actually a Sweet 16 little memory plaque rather, for a friend of mine. So I engraved this for her. So pretty much I'm not gonna say anything. I'm getting better, a lot better with the engraving. And if you trust me, I guarantee you I'll try it. And if it doesn't look right, we're not doing it. We are not doing it.
thank you so much, Pauline. Does anyone else have any questions? All righty. We're gonna move along. Nancy Vesely, are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Yes, I'm Nancy Vesely. I help people with health insurance. I also help people with Medicare questions. I'm a local licensed health insurance agent out of Westfield, Indiana. So if you call my number, you get me. You don't get Bob on the other end of an 800 number or Robin the next day. You don't get that. You get me. So if you have a problem, I want to hear about it. I can't guarantee I can help with everything, but I can make sure we've got you covered. And right there's a big thing. So I say that, and then the next time I get one of those calls with, oh my God, look at my invoice or look at my bill. I'm going to question why I tell people that, but I do want to hear the good or the bad that you have experiences with your health insurance, because I can't help you if I don't know it's a problem. And I don't want you to leave me to go call that 800 number to think you're getting a better deal, because a lot of times you aren't. There are some other things you're losing in that. So interested in talking to anybody. The one thing that I'll mention is if you have a large deductible in your plan and you seem to be making it for the year, we can hook you up with a supplement that could help you with that deductible amount. So not that you always make deductible, but when you do, you need help. And it's usually not that expensive on a monthly basis to pick something up. A 5,000 deductible the other day was $40 a month. So it wasn't that much, but if you needed to hit your deductible, it would help you with that gap in your coverage.
All right.
Nancy Vesely with IHC.
Thank you so much, Nancy. Does anyone have any questions for Nancy Vesely and IHC Insurance? Excuse me. And I know that you always talk about the health insurance, but I always encourage you to add in all the other wonderful stuff that you touch on, that you're a professional for as well. So if you don't mind sharing that, Nancy.
Dog and cat insurance. I mean, life insurance. I can help you with the life insurance. Nowadays, I read a thing that it said only like 2% of people have life insurance, or they have life insurance with their employers. I don't know about you, but I don't know how many people think they're going to be with one employer their whole life, because nowadays it doesn't happen. So if you had your own life insurance when you're young, it would help cover you if something happened, and the price would not be going up as you aged. It might go up based on the company raising levels in the class you're in, but it's not going to go up like it would be if you were buying it new every year at your older age. So it's worth an investment when you're young to get something in place. So health insurance, supplemental insurance, dental, vision, we can help you. We have choices.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Nancy. If there are no further questions, next I am going to invite Paul Hibbitt. Are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Sure. Yeah. My name is Paul Hibbitt. I'm with Fox Group Realty, and I'm a real estate broker. And I basically do full service real estate sales for either as a listing agent or for buyers. And mostly we'll focus on the north side and do most of my stuff on the north side of Indianapolis. But I did grow up in Greenwood, know my way around the south side very well, and I've lived on the south side various times in my life. But you know, I'm also an investor in real estate, and I've fixed and resold homes, and that's one of the just, I guess, segments of the market I'm trying to seek out, or investors that are looking for help with their transactions on their investment properties and looking for new investment opportunity properties and all that. So that's, I guess, the elevator pitch right there.
All right. Thank you for sharing, Paul. Do we
Yes.
have any questions for Paul at this time? I'm going to ask, I think I recall last week when you spoke with us that you mentioned that you work generally, is it the 9 counties?
Well, the
Central?
donut counties, the whole the MLS basically covers all 9 counties in central Indiana, the counties surrounding Marion County. And I've done appraisals. I should have mentioned I was an appraiser trainee for 7 months before I became a realtor, and I did appraisals all over town. I've done appraisals in Avon and Greenfield, as well as the Carmels and Greenwoods and Central Center Township, all of that. So I've done appraisals reports all over, and feel I have a general idea of the market in those areas. Obviously, when I get listings or have buyers that are focusing on those areas, I'm going to have to polish up on those specific areas as I do it. But I've lived on the north side most of my adult life and grew up in Greenwood. I think I know those sides of towns extremely well. So,
Awesome. Awesome. And that's a wonderful complementary skill set that you have, the appraising along with the realtor knowledge and skills. So
I think it helps me in setting realistic expectations. You know, when I meet with people, I can tell them and show them in the comparable properties that have sold, you know, what they realistically can get, and try not to over-promise, under-deliver. You know, try to get them to set realistic goals, and then when you do that, in most cases these days, I think any of you that have sold real estate lately know you end up with bidding wars more than not, with multiple offers, and that's always a great position to be in.
awesome. Thanks again. Are there any other questions for Paul? Okay. Let's move on to Mary Abella. Are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
I'm Mary Abella. My business is a little bit of red interior redesign, and I help people sell their houses faster and for more money. Nowadays, faster isn't as critical because, as Paul knows, things are going boom. But staged homes do sell faster or for more money. So that's one of the things I do. I do furniture, you know, furnishing. I do fill-ins. Some people don't have rugs and pillows and all that kind of stuff. I also do consultations. But in addition, I'm a designer. And so I'm working on a project up in Zionsville right now with the full house. They moved into this huge house, and we're getting furniture for them slowly because of the supply problem. And then also I do feng shui consultation. So I don't get very many of those jobs, but they're kind of fun because you can change people's lives. So that's the three things I'm into. So Mary Abella, a little bit of red.
All right. Thank you, Mary. Is there a particular referral that you are looking for? Anything we should have our ears open for to share with you?
Well, realtors, obviously, but anybody that's moved into a new house or going to move into a new house. For instance, yesterday I did a consultation, a short one, for someone that's moving to a condo from a, 2-story house. And so I helped them figure out where they're going to put the furniture and what furniture has to be left behind. So people that want to redecorate, moving into an old house, getting the old house ready, that kind of thing. So.
Okay, very good. As people are getting rid of any of their stuff, are you a resource for, I guess, to secondhand places or resale
Right.
shops or something like that?
Right. So one lady had some things and I took some pictures for her. She was an older person and didn't know how to do it, and put it on, I think Craigslist for her, and she sold it. I'm a big fan of Mission 27, which is St. Vincent de Paul, and they take things for free. They will pick them up. Of course, there's Christie's, although they're so full right now that last I heard, they could not pick up anything. They really didn't have room to store, everything got backed up because they couldn't do the
The auctions?
auctions because of COVID. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got places. I also have a large minivan that the back seats all fold down. And so if it's something that fits in my car, if I can help them out that way, we've put chairs and things in my car and I take them to wherever, that needs them. I used to give things to the refugee program too. So yeah, I can get rid of their things for them, help them do that. So.
Awesome. Are there any other questions for Mary?
You know what? I was going to say really quick. I don't know, but I believe it was Mary that got me all hooked on the idea of the feng shui, because she used to share that with the South Side group. And I've been telling people we're building a house here in in Cicero, but doesn't matter. But it's literally, I'm like, I wonder if that's a good idea. If my back's to the wall, is that good feng shui? Or not back to the wall, but back to my people walking in my office. I've got to see them I swear it was you, Mary. You shared something in our Southside group, I think one time. It just got me hooked on, I don't know. I've got to make sure it's okay with feng shui. Like,
Makes a big difference.
Yeah. Well, and I think your presentation was great. It's just funny because I'm like, I never would have cared about that ever. And I'm sure it was your presentation that did that.
Don't you feel more comfortable facing outward than having your back to the door?
Yeah.
There was someone that
exactly.
had their back to the door and they just felt like, they jump every time somebody came into the room. So they couldn't rearrange their office. So they put a mirror on their desk so that she could see somebody coming in, and then it was fine. So it's just simple little things. And it's, simple, people think it's hokey pokey or whatever, but it's really makes sense, so
Makes perfect sense.
about security and
You
all
just don't
that.
think about it until somebody points it out, and it's like, yeah, I don't know what was I thinking? So good for you. Thank you very much. I'm glad you're here, Mary. I'm glad Paul's here. I'm just letting everybody know I have to jump off here in a few minutes. So continue on. Have a great meeting. I will be seeing everybody soon, I hope. So.
Okay. Do you have anything else that you want to share with us before you go, Jennifer?
No, just if I'm like hugging everybody through the phone, just make sure good feng shui. Just keep it in mind. Face
All right.
and hug people when, as long as everybody's healthy, but you know what I mean. So there you go. Okay.
Thank
You guys take care. But
Jennifer.
thank you, Dawn.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
Before we move on, I want to take the opportunity to remind everybody, if you can add your contact information into the chat room, into the chat box, that way your name, your business name, your email address, phone number, website information. And following the meeting, I'll share the complete list with all of the Collaborating Connections groups. So we'll all have the information to be able to set up some one-on-ones and so forth. That way we just don't have to repeat ourselves during this meeting, and we can capture all of this great information. So thank you. Let's see. Next, I would like to invite Bryn Cochran. Are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Yes, thank you, Dawn. Hello, everybody. My name is Bryn Cochran with Shelter Insurance. I sell home, auto, business, commercial insurance. My question for everybody tonight is, did you know that there's a difference between homeowners insurance and condo insurance? I've had several customers in the past couple of months call me about quotes for condo insurance, and Shelter is very competitive in this area. And depending on what your condo association requirements are, we are very competitive, especially because we mainly are going to be insuring your personal property and not necessarily the entire structure. So it's important to make sure if you have family or friends or even yourself is moving into a condo that you have the proper insurance. I've actually rewritten condo insurance that were written as homeowners insurance, and it's a lot more expensive to insure a home than it is a condo. So just a little FYI for everybody that there is a difference. And if you know anybody, I know condos are popping up everywhere. Condo associations are popping up everywhere. So if they need someone to help instruct them or teach them or make sure that they're getting insured properly, send them my way. Again, Bryn Cochran with Shelter Insurance, home, auto, business, and commercial.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Bryn.
You're welcome.
I know that you were talking about anybody who has a condo and interested in insurance. Are you also interested in being connected to those condo management associations or whatever, if they
Absolutely.
recommendations to their new condo owners?
Yes, that would be wonderful. I do know I've actually lost customers who have moved into condo associations, and the condo association have already teamed up with an insurance company. And so it's easier for them to keep track of who's insuring their home properly or the condo properly. So they just go with one company. But a lot of the older condos kind of just free for all. So if you do know condo association owners, send them my way. And I just insured one in a Brownsburg community today, and was paying $600 a year with his other company, and our quote was $200 a year. And he didn't have any other policies with us either, so there was no discounts, and that was without discounts. But that's just something to kind of give you an idea of how competitive we are. And his insurance was very comparable. It's just because of the way we write our policies. So yes, definitely. If you know any condo owners, association owners, send them my way. And yeah.
Awesome. Will do.
What
Does
do you
any-
base condo insurance off? The square foot of the condo, or?
So most condo associations actually own the structure. So whenever you're insuring it, we call it studs in. What the insurance contract covers. So, but depending on your condo association, like the one I just wrote, required their people who live there, they're not homeowners or condo owners, to cover their roof as well as studs in. So the refrigerator, the carpet, the beds, everything, but the structure itself is owned by the condo association.
Wow, interesting. Interesting.
And then some condo associations only require you to do your personal property. So you don't have to do the carpet or the hardwood floors or the refrigerator. So it kind of just depends on what your contract is with the association.
Gotcha. Any other questions for Bryn this evening? All righty.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, Robert Hailey, are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Hello, Ms. Brent, how you doing? I mean, how you guys doing this evening?
Good.
Yep. This is Robert Hailey with First Home Bank. I'm a mortgage banker. We're a federally chartered bank. We do loans in all 50 states. I myself been in the business for over 25 years. It's a wealth of knowledge in that sense. My whole goal is a holistic approach to every client to help them to make sure they understand their short and long-term goals, but most importantly, that they're more educated about what they're trying to get accomplished versus just the numbers thrown at them. The market has truly changed. Those who are looking to buy a home or refinance a home, pricing has truly changed. The market shift with the Fed raising rates, and so the rates are a little bit. They're still good, but they're not as good as they were a year ago. So in that case, though, so if you're looking to buy a home, you're not going to get looking for a 2 point something. That's not going to be in the cards. And keep in mind that people have a thing that you can call up and just ask for a rate. Rates are not shown to you by just call up and getting it. It's based upon one, your credit score, your loan to value, your term of the loan, and most importantly, the market itself. It determines and if you're talking doing cash out or cash out or no cash out, determines what you will qualify for. So those factors. So when people say they want to just call it, you just can't call and get a rate. Think of rate like your footprint. You may think you wear a size 8, but you won't get your foot in all 8 shoes, but everything's based upon your foot size, your credit's foot size. So think in that terms there. So again, any referral partners, if anyone that's looking to buy a home, refinance a home, I just want to do a consult. So anyone that's in that market itself. Again, Robert Hailey, First Home Bank.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Robert.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any questions for Robert Hailey this evening? All righty.
I don't have any questions, but I wanted to thank Robert for the link to that presentation last Friday. It was very interesting on qualifying for loans with 1099 income or non-W2 income. I found it very interesting presentation. So thank you.
Cool.
You're more than welcome. I'm glad. Thank you for coming and participating. So it just helps realtors to understand what other options out there. We just released our doctors program. So if you know anyone that's a doctor, it's going to be a doctor, and they're looking to buy a home, we have a program for them too.
Okay, I was going to ask you, are there additional presentations that you'd like to share the details with us so that we can post on Collaborating Connections and TTR Networking?
Yeah, we have a few coming up, but I'll definitely, once we can put them all together correctly, I'll definitely get you those dates and definitely provide the flyers so people can participate.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Robert. I'll introduce myself again. My name is Dawn Evans Casey, the leader of Collaborating Connections, and my company is Spa Travel. It's a full service travel agency, and I am a certified travel agent. I help my clients have an enjoyable and relaxing travel experience. And I love to work with individuals that are planning for or forward thinking about their travel plans. I'm not able to do a whole lot at last minute. But if somebody has ideas for travel, say a summer vacation for the family, wedding plans coming up for perhaps a destination wedding or corporate travel for a conference or something of that nature, I would love to work with a point person and arrange travel. I not only arrange the how to get there, but what to do once you get to your destination. If there are excursions, tours, places that you definitely want to see, I'll sit down and do a consultation with my travel client, prepare a profile of what they're looking for, and then provide them with some proposals that they can take a look at, make sure that the pricing and the opportunities within the travel are what they are looking for before they confirm. So again, I just want to make sure that my travel clients have a very enjoyable travel experience, and I'm there to help them to ease any kinks that may occur. If once they are on the way, in the travel process, if there are delayed flights or canceled flights or the hotel room is not quite what was expected, I'm happy to be an ambassador on behalf of that client to make sure that they get things straightened out with their travel vendor. And utilizing my travel services does not cost my travel clients anything extra. The travel vendors are paying my commissions. I encourage everybody, especially in this day and age, to make sure that they get travel insurance, because a lot is going on within the travel industry, and it's an investment of your time and your money that you don't want to lose out on. So if you know of anybody who's interested in future travel, I would be happy to help. Dawn Evans Casey, Spa Travel. Does anyone have any questions for me concerning travel, destinations, or safety protocols that may be going on currently?
Are prices for airlines still really high?
Still really high. They will be going up.
Oh,
I have
okay.
already seen them go further up. So if you're looking to travel in 2022, even if you are months out from the travel as of right now, now is the time to be planning and booking, because they will continue to increase. I tell my prospective travel clients all the time, the sweet spot for purchasing air is at least 7 to 8 weeks ahead of the travel date. But as of right now, summer is the high season, the more expensive season to travel. So if you have dates for a family reunion or anything like that, now is a good time to start looking at those dates and perhaps get locked in on some pricing. Okay. All right. Well, let's see, we're at 7:03. I mentioned we are in the month of March, and our theme for March is Masterminding. And I was on a meeting earlier today with Jennifer, and we were discussing the theme of do more. And I know it's kind of hard to think about, we're all hardworking professionals. Some of us have day job and do an entrepreneurial endeavor in their off time. Some of us wear various hats. But the theme of do more is a genuine recommendation as we seek to differentiate ourselves in our industries and to demonstrate to our clientele that we're willing to go the extra mile to provide them with extraordinary benefit and to, see the smile on their face. So I came across a couple of things that I wanted to read and share with you just to get you thinking about the do more. They're actually two separate poems. I don't know who wrote which one first, but the first one is by William Arthur Ward. He's considered one of America's foremost inspirational writers. with columns, quotes, and poems appearing in multiple times in major publications during his lifetime and still widely referenced today. He was born in Louisiana, served in the U.S. Army before becoming a college administrator. He's an editor, teacher, pastor, served on the board of directors of many nonprofit organizations. And William Ward writes, "Do more than belong, participate, do more than care, help, do more than believe, practice, do more than be fair, be kind, do more than forgive, forget, do more than dream, work, do more than teach, inspire, do more than earn, enrich, do more than give, serve, do more than live, grow, do more than suffer, triumph." And then along the same lines, I have a poem by D. Lynch. "Do more than exist, live, do more than touch, feel, do more than look, observe, do more than read, absorb, do more than hear, listen, do more than listen, understand, do more than think, ponder, do more than talk, actually say something." So I wanted to share those with you and open up the floor to see, does the do more thought process encourage you to take a step outside of your comfort zone? And as we mastermind, can you imagine ways that you can do more and enhance your business and get to the wow with your clientele? Any thoughts on that, anyone?
Well, it's interesting when you're saying do more. I'm thinking, okay, in what time? Who's got the time to do more? But it really isn't time consuming. It's just the quality of what you're doing.
Exactly. It's the efficiency of it.
Mhm.
We all have the same 24 hours in a day, and that's always going to be the case. So when we think about what we're doing, are we just following routines and checking boxes, or are we taking advantage of opportunities to do a little bit more, do a little bit better, move ourselves, our business, our experiences to that next level? Any other thoughts?
Yeah, I was actually thinking when you were saying those poems about doing more application, because a lot of times we already know what we should be doing to be more efficient or to be doing more with our time and efforts. But to actually take the head knowledge and actually apply it to our lives, it actually takes, I think, an extra step of faith or an extra step of energy or courage. I guess so. I guess applying it is what I think of when I think of doing more as well.
Very good. I like that. Yeah, because it's one on one hand, just to think about it, to have an idea, that's nice, that's good. But until you put it into action, until you get motivated and move it forward, what have you really got but just an idea, a good idea? The goodness, the the wealth, the benefit, the joy comes from the doing.
Yes.
Anybody else? Does it make you think about anything particular that you want to consider to implement in your own business? Something that you may have known, been thinking about for a while, but for whatever reason procrastinated, put it on a back burner, thought I'll get to that, maybe later.
I think about that do more is just really a self-reflect of what you're doing. Is it effective? Is it not effective? Always be self-evaluating and then trying to figure out what else can I do more or less of to make sure I'm moving forward on what I'm doing to better myself than what I did yesterday and what last year, and what most important that you're like, how can you do more for the client and still be effective with them and move forward? So do more is always like, okay, you can think of many different ways. They do more. Say do more. It's not that you're gonna need to fill the plate up with more stuff, but I say self-evaluate what you're doing to ensure what you're doing is effective and delivering the outcomes you want.
Yeah.
My 2 cents.
Very good. Thank you. At the beginning of the year, we generally, it's a routine activity to set goals. And a lot of people will write them down just like New Year's resolutions, jot them down. But unless we revisit them frequently and do the evaluation, where am I at with these? Have I grown? Have I accomplished? Have I moved forward? What has been the outcome of my actions? And, am I still giving the service, providing the quality, making my clients smile, setting myself up for more business? Is that really going on? A lot of times that we can look at competition and acknowledge, where am I compared to them? Or why am I not competing at the same level that I'd like to? And why we can consider that, the important piece is the next. Well, what am I going to do? What needs to be done? Are the actions that I have taken, were they worthwhile, valuable? Do I need to change directions? Do I need to reevaluate any of those goals and readjust? So those are all valid and valuable considerations as part of the do more. Not necessarily hustle more, but making sure that we are more effective in our everyday business.
One thing is, I don't like to compare myself to others. I go back to my goals, what they are, and making sure I get to my goals, because otherwise I get myself in a real depression because, I'm not 30 years old out selling hundreds of policies, because that's not what I'm doing. And that's not really what I want to do. But if I look at compare myself to someone else, I end up in that direction. So that's why I've stopped comparing myself to someone else. I usually try to I got my goals and that's what I'm aiming for this year. And then again, you have to review and see where you are. Because if you don't know, December comes and, oh my God, I've got to sell 100 more policies. It's not good. So it's like, you got to stay ahead of the curve there. But
Yeah.
that's one thing I've stopped, is comparing myself to someone else, I'm not. I'll show my age, Farrah Fawcett. I'll never have Farrah Fawcett hair, I kept going to the beautician telling her I wanted Farrah Fawcett hair. Never got it. Well, no, she'd give it to me, but as soon as I had to do it myself, it wouldn't happen. So it's like, that's like, stop comparing myself to others.
Understood. And you figure out what works for you in the long run. There is no, one pattern for a business owner, an entrepreneur to follow that is the road to success. Everyone has to determine, what works best for them. And obviously you've put some time and thought into what plan works for you, Nancy. I'm curious, how often do you reevaluate and perhaps recalibrate based upon what works?
I usually have to look at it at least every quarter. I have a general idea what it is, but I have to make sure I look at the numbers and see where I am on track for the quarterly, so that it gives me an incentive to just, okay, I'm pretty close, or, oh, I'm ahead of where I should be. And so that really helps, looking at it quarterly rather than come December 1st.
Gotcha. Good. What do you think, Pauline? I know that you already do a lot. What do you think about do more?
Do more has gotten me in trouble a couple of times. This year in particular, what I am noticing is I have kind of reduced the number of cards that I produce, because I'm learning. I think I have like 4 customers that monthly I provide cards to. However, the engraved items are doing better than the cards. Don't get me wrong, the cards are still doing well, but I had to take a step back last year and reevaluate this year and add more product lines, add more items to the product line on the greeting card side as well as the wedding side. So doing more in order to stay in the game and to be successful in the game or work towards success. And like Nancy said, you have to do an evaluation. Is this working? If it's not working, can I modify it to make it better? Do I just let it set back for a minute and then relaunch it like it's something new? Because sometimes people won't remember. You just launched that 3 months ago. Yeah, I did, but it's different. It's bigger and better. So, I mean, it's all, I don't want to say a mind game, but it's where you have set your goals to be and how you work toward it. Yeah, but doing more has gotten me in trouble sometimes. Yeah.
All right. Understood. What do you think, Paul?
Sorry, I've got it on mute. My sister's dogs are going crazy around me here. I'm the zookeeper this week. But anyhow, I agree with what everybody's been saying, and I think we all need to aspire to do more and try harder and listen better and everything else. And I'm sorry, I'm distracted though. These dogs it's past their feeding time and they're going nuts.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
I'm gonna have to put it on mute again. Sorry.
Okay. No, understood. All righty. Well, I certainly wanted to put that out there for some thought-provoking opportunity as we look at ourselves and our businesses about to wrap up the first quarter of 2022. That this is a great time for us to look back at those goals that we set early on in the beginning of the year and think about how we can do more. And that do more actually equates to efficiency, improvement, and growth for ourselves and our businesses. So keep that in mind. Let's see, it is 7:19, and I think unless there is anything else that anyone would like to chat about, we're going to wrap up just a little bit early this week. I am going to send out the chat in an email to all following this meeting. And again, encourage you to reach out to each other and set up some one-on-ones. And in fact, I'd like to kind of challenge if everybody could at least think of a referral for at least one other person this week, based upon what we've heard today, and make some wonderful connections. So get those one-on-ones done and refer somebody this week. There's just lots of opportunity to connect someone who needs a product or service with any of the wonderful professionals right here on this call. So we'll be looking forward to hearing some of that follow-up next week. Look forward to seeing all of your smiling faces again. And thank you, Mary Abella, for joining us this evening. Welcome, Paul, to the Collaborating Connections group. Everybody, please go forward. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Be terribly productive and stay safe. Take care now.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.